And a good Saturday afternoon to you. This is Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights Consulting, local weather hazards forecaster. This video for this outlook is driven by 802cars.com. They represent 802 Toyota, Twin Cities Subaru, and 802 Honda, all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. We're kind of in between weather systems right now. We have a lot of cloud cover that's dampening down any possible convection. There are some minor scattered showers that are in the process of forming, and we'll see a few of those work through this afternoon, and probably a better chance for thunderstorms sometime after 3 or 4 o'clock this evening. Best chance for severe weather, however, is going to remain to our south, where there's ample sunshine. We have a shortwave trough that's kind of working through the region, and this is down in the middle Atlantic states to our south, southern New York, and then back into probably northern Virginia, with the most active weather, it looks like, through parts of New York City, and then back into southern portions of New England. To our north, another area of potential severe weather. This is going to be creeping on down and being probably affecting us as we get into this evening hours for basically Saturday evening into Sunday morning and maybe Sunday afternoon as well. This is a potent weather system associated with this upper level low that's going to drop in like this. It's an anomalous area of low pressure. The trough is very deep for this time of year, so hence we could have a little special weather associated with this as this works in tonight. With synoptic-driven thunderstorm activity, the potential. Off to the north or to the west of us here, we see the ridge of higher pressure in between weather systems, and along that top of that ridge, a lot of high dew point temperatures is producing the most active weather in the country right now. Numerous reports of strong winds crossing through the portions of North Dakota on the border of southern Alberta, southern Manitoba, and southern Saskatchewan, and so forth. And this is the most ongoing current severe weather we're seeing. It does look like we'll see a little bit of that action off and on here, but nothing that is going to top anything that's off to the west or to the south of us. Let's get right to the look at the 6-hourly incrementals of the European model now. Okay, so we're going to look at the 2 o'clock that's valid this afternoon here on Saturday, and you can see a blossoming of showers across portions of Vermont. This being again the 0Z model run from last night. This is the 12Z model run that occurred yesterday, and this information came out yesterday afternoon. This information came out this morning, so this is the most up-to-date. These are 12 hours apart, the incrementals here. So the next 6-hour shot, you can compare notes by looking side by side, and you can see that showers are starting to wind on down here. This is valid between 8 o'clock Saturday evening and 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. However, overnight, showers pick up a little bit, and that's associated with that trough of lower pressure I showed you that's up near the Hudson Bay, and it's going to drop through Quebec, and that is what's driving this synoptically. And you can see more showers and potentially some thunderstorm activity. This is valid through 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, and in between 2 and about 8 o'clock in the evening, Sunday evening, most of the shower thunderstorm activity is starting to slide a little bit more to the south and east, with a little bit better chances. I'm not seeing a whole lot up in the northern tier region. So it looks like the worst of the severe weather, or potential severe with this, or strong thunderstorms, would probably be confined to our central and southern parts of Vermont. Now we finally get a ridge of higher pressure that builds in, it looks like, on Sunday night, so it ends that, and into Monday, it looks like a pretty decent day. A little bit of a wet feedback noted here because we've had rain at that point in time. Probably just some cumulus development that the European model is picking up on and trying to project here. I'm not anticipating any precipitation. I think Monday is going to be a good dry project weather day. Once we get into Tuesday, that would be a 06Z here. You can see a system dropping in. So basically Monday night into the morning hours on Tuesday, probably a round of showers and thunderstorms with that little disturbance kind of working on through. And then once we get into Wednesday, high pressure builds in from Pennsylvania. It's a pretty nice scenario here. And Wednesday is looking like probably the pick of next week. The only fly in the ointment here, as I see, looks like it could be happening on the 4th of July later in the afternoons. You can see a little bit of precipitation. Don't know yet if this is just cumulus clouds or feedback in the system from convection. But we'll have to wait and see about that. But on the 4th of July, there is a possibility of some isolated cells developing. That pretty much dies right out, and then taking a look beyond this period, another round somewhere along about Friday night into Saturday morning, and so forth. That's pretty far out at this point in time. No GFS ensemble to compare notes with, but most of the models are in pretty decent agreement. This is the Weather Prediction Center 7-day QPF. This is valid through, it looks like 8 o'clock in the morning on the 6th of July. That would be the following Saturday. So about 1 week of precip here. So the blue is 1 inch amounts, and we're kind of in between that. So a 1/2 inch to 1 inch amounts. And again, this is a little bit below normal. We're starting to see precipitation anomalies that are less than normal precipitation for a change. That is a switch. And taking a look at that, this is the calculated soil moisture in millimeters for the 28th of June, most recent. And you can see we're running a little bit above normal, but that's definitely a change from what we've been seeing, which had been much wetter. In terms of our temperatures, it looks like our meteorological output statistics, or MOS, the next 5 days of high temperatures show about normal weighted. A little cooler off to our east, similar to our west. And then about 3 days later, you can see that we start to get into a warming trend, and indeed that starts to capture a little bit of a heat wave or mini heat wave that'll be developing. It looks like that's going to take place starting on the 4th of July and just beyond it, working into next weekend. So where are these anomalous heat waves? Well, there's actually one in North America that's taking place, and this is up in the northern part of northern Quebec and into the Canadian archipelago, also across portions of Greenland. And look at this in Alaska. Everybody's hearing about Europe. So Europe is definitely seeing a major heat wave, and then of course we have a trough of low pressure that's bringing cooler than normal conditions across Eurasia. And then as you get into the areas around parts of Siberia here, central Siberia, it looks like we're seeing a pretty major heat wave. We're not hearing anything about that. And of course the other thing too is look at this in Alaska, some warmer temperatures than what is expected for this time of year as well. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.